Hello there, and welcome to Hammerman for today, November the 19th. And I'm just gonna throw it out there, right here and now. It's official, Supercell has made Hammerman harder. It's the only thing that makes sense. And it's not official, because it's not like they came up and they were like, yo, Beard, we made Hammerman harder. But it's the only thing that makes sense to me. It's ridiculous. At least from stages 5 through 7. Lower stages, kind of on par, but then it's hard to get a real good feel for it, because obviously the first couple of stages just get rolled anyways, so like, meh. So, now that I've gotten that off, we'll be getting to the craziness a little later on. Jeez, man. Sorry, things in my pockets doing weird stuff. Now, I tried to keep the prototypes out of the way for the first couple of levels as much as possible. Obviously, right there, it was targeted by a barrage, but like really in the grand scheme of things for this level, an extra barrage isn't going to make any difference to me. If it does make a big difference to you, then like get a shield, build the shield and throw it in there. I think I only made maybe a level 2 or a level 1. Like, I don't even know what level of actual shield that is. I think it's around 25,000 hit points. So whichever one that one is, yeah. But I just kind of had that hanging around from last week, from when I was playing around with it. So I actually lost this shield later on, and I replaced it with something else, but it will come. So I don't know. I'm really curious if I don't know if it's just the base design that I'm using, which hasn't really changed, and maybe it's just kind of not doing so well because of all of the crazy Grens. Maybe it's something else. Maybe Hammerman really is going tougher. I feel like that must be what it is, because before I could just sort of coast through. I might need a couple of different prototype weapons, but I wouldn't struggle that badly. And I never had a problem with Stage 5. Like, Stage 5 was always just like, I would cruise. Stage 5 was just as difficult as Stage 1 or Stage 2, and I would cruise past it. Stage 5 is scaring me now, and maybe, like I say, maybe it's just the troop combination. I gotta switch up the base a little bit. That actually ended up being a big part of getting past 7 today, because I was not getting there, and I was downright scared, because I switched up the protos and everything to give myself the best chance, and still no bueno. So a little bit scared. Now, also, side note, maybe non-side note, like something I should have said earlier, is because I know that it comes in as a factor. Obviously, my flamethrowers have full tri boost, and I think my HQ has 2, maybe 3 levels. Pretty sure it's 2 levels in there. So I do have a little bit of extra hit points on the HQ, and a little bit of extra damage out of the flamethrowers. And if you don't have those, I would honestly just go out and just spend the crystals, get your tri boosts, because they really do actually end up helping me quite a bit. Especially the flamethrowers. Like, flamethrowers are key, having the extra damage in there. It almost turns them into like little mini hot pockets. It's fan-freaking-tastic. Anyways, so now here we go. I'm pretty sure this is Stage 5 now. I'm sorry, I've got a splinter in my hand. I've been doing some renovations. I don't even know if the microphone is picking it up, but there are like literally renovations happening just above my head on the next floor up, obviously. Like, it's not like someone's hanging from the ceiling like Mission Impossible style and doing some kind of renovation. However, I would probably pay extra for a contractor to do that because it would just be freaking cool. Anyways. Okay, no, we're good. Had to double check. So, Stage 5 seems like it's going okay. It seems to be chill until all of these heavies and riflemen get in front of a bunch of Grens with a whole buttwad of medics backing them up. And you can see, like, all my defenses are just, like, throwing everything they have at these freaking heavies and can't down them because the medics are just devastating everything. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm almost, like, a little bit of ashamed because I ended up actually not finishing off all of the troops. And now that's partially not my fault. That's, you know, it's a range thing. And I'm sure had I, like, thrown out the Doom Cannon a little further, I would have had more range and, like, certain things could have happened. But even like you can see with the, I guess, protective layer stripped away, every time the mortar comes out, it seriously hurts a couple of Grens. And the freaking medics get them back up before the next lob. So unless I have both of my mortars targeting the same group so that, like, they get a double whack, I can't even take down the Grens with mortars. So I have to, like, slowly sit there and just wait for the boom cannons to peck away and eventually, like, take things out. And then, of course, there's got to be 2 extra freaking medics just out of range. I didn't even see them in all of the debris there until I, like, zoomed in, which is why I was kind of moving around. I'm like, what's going on here? They kind of blend in, you know? And look at, like, I'm pretty sure they each have a foot into the white space there. Like, I know I've had attacks where, like, that's been enough to fry me, but I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna blame Supercell, but, you know, I blame Supercell. Gotta blame someone, and, you know, like, it's easier to blame them. So now, onto Stage 6. This is actually a second run at it, and that's why I have a machine gun way over in the corner, able to get blowed up. Because Stage 6, much like Stage 5, giving me way more trouble than before. Like, I feel like even just a month ago, I would have rolled up on this Stage 6 and, like, blasted through it without any, like, without having to lose, without having any problems, without having to rearrange my base to, like, min-max it for artillery and barrage and stuff. Honestly, like, a month ago, I feel like this would have just been a cakewalk. And now, you know, like, one extra attempt at a base, not entirely, like, crazy. It's not uncalled for. It's just kind of surprising. And once again, really, it's the freaking Grens, man. Those Grens do so much work. I don't know why, but I guess building location and whatnot. But I feel like Hammerman has been rocking a lot of Grens lately with tanks in front of them. Granks, if you would. Oh, man. Look at that, like, jeez. And then you throw the Riflemen out in front of the tanks, and it's just, come on. No way, you know? Now, obviously, I have prototypes, and they are crammed, like, way in the back, and they're not necessarily intended to be part of my defense strategy, but it gets to the point where I had to rely on my Doom Cannon to slowly finish off the remainder of the troops. And keep in mind, this is attempt number 2. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be this bad, but, like, ew. Good news is, I went out and I picked myself up a couple of boosts just because I had extra loot, and I was like, alright, well, I gotta use my resources up somehow. And I boosted my HQ because I had boosted everything else. But look at this. It literally, I'm assuming I have like a 30% boost to the health of my HQ. That's less than 30%. I literally made it past this stage because of the tribe boost to my HQ hit points, which, like, that's mind-blowing. And then, of course, I tried my regular base, I guess, and I could not do this. I decided to say, you know what, I'm throwing cash into the wind, let's go, balls to the wall, full on, all offense, and this is the mess that I ended up with. And this is really just my anti-Gren base with a couple of hot pockets jammed right up at the front and like a doom cannon just a little bit further back, because it's the only way I could really take care of this level. It's so nasty with all the Riflemen followed up by the Grens. Everything I threw at it got fried. And honestly, I wasn't expecting this to last very long, which is why this is like a repeat and not my attack live, because I honestly expected to just get raffle stomped like the last 8 times I had tried to do stage 7, and I was not expecting this base layout to be so different, which is why I'm kind of saying, like, maybe I just gotta switch up my bases. Maybe Hammerman's not harder. What I'd really like is if you guys could just comment below, let me know if Hammerman's being harder for you, or if it's just me, or, you know, let me know what your feelings are on the Hammermans lately, because I really do feel like they've gotten extra tough. Anyways, hopefully this is enough to get you guys through it, and hopefully you got hot pots to spare, because you're gonna need them. And thanks very much for watching, guys. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's been entertaining, and above all else, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.